Welcome to the Pond Plant Girl Show. I'm your host, Gail Gates, and I kill plants. Yep, it is true. I do kill plants, and who doesn't? And that's the learning process that we go through. Well, one of the things that does kill plants that we're all fooled into is this thingy right here, and that's that glass globe that you put water in and you stick it in your house plants. Do you know how many house plants that I see around town, friend's house, whatever, anywhere, and it has this nifty little glass globe and dead plants? That's because it's a great marketing tool, but we're all fooled into thinking that your plant will get watered thoroughly and you can ignore it. Well, plants can't be ignored. So anyway, if you happen to use one of these, you have to remember to fill it up, and you still have to water your plant once a week. So why not save the money and just water your plant and skip the globe? All right, the time has finally come. I finished my greenhouse made out of 1/2-inch PVC pipe and 4 milliliter plastic sheeting that you can buy by the roll really cheap, like for $13 at Lowe's hardware store, one of my favorite places to go. And this one again was real easy, but it took me a while because it's more complicated than the last greenhouse that I made. All right, if you're listening to me on the radio, go to pondplantgirl.com and you'll see the pictures of my greenhouse. And this first picture shows how I attached it to the eaves just with a little C-clamp and some screws. The top of the greenhouse runs all along right under the rain gutter, and that's where it is attached with the C-clamps. Now, I don't have specific plans that you can necessarily follow because every greenhouse is different. But if you go to my website, you'll get a better idea of how to put it together, and I'll have some basic instructions for you. I have different fittings for the PVC pipe that we put it together with glue. We put up the frame first and then added the plastic. If you can find a better way, please let me know. And all the plastic was attached with zip ties, and it worked out really good. I just kind of made this up as I went along, and it turned out pretty good. Here's another picture, and this kind of reminds me of a tent. This was actually the hardest part of the greenhouse, was the doorway. And I have it kind of hanging down, and then it's actually the peak that was difficult to do. And so I fashioned it together. You know me, I don't like to go spend money on anything, so I found some twine. I hooked it together with not PVC, with zip ties. And actually it looks halfway decent, a little bit better than the photograph here. And I didn't trim off the plastic because I figured, if I wanted to make changes, I'll have the plastic there and I won't have to buy more and it wouldn't get all wrecked up. So that's why the plastic is hanging down the way it is. But anyway, I get emails from people a lot of times, and someone asked me about making their greenhouse airtight. I didn't, because we get a lot of wind in our area and I want the wind to be able to breeze through. If you live in a colder region, you might want to make it a little bit more airtight, and there is clear duct tape that you can use that will look halfway decent if you want to close up some of those gaps between the panels on the plastic sheeting. Here's another view. I got a ladder there, and right there where the ladder is kind of the entryway of the greenhouse. Now my view out my kitchen window will be my greenhouse, but I'll have a hanger hanging down. I'll have lots of tropical plants all over the place once this is complete. And here's another view for you. Those are banana trees, by the way, which I got from a fantastic lady online. Send me an email and I'll give you her link. She has tons and tons of different kinds of banana plants, and these are actually edible ones. I'm hoping in a few years I'll get some real bananas off of them. There, ta-da, is my beautiful greenhouse. In actuality, I could have gotten this done in one day, but it took me like a month because I did it real slow. And this is actually a 2-person project because it goes a lot easier with 2 people because you got a lot of reaching and ladder climbing to do. And it was easy, and you can do it too. This year I grew pumpkins, and like half of my yard was a pumpkin patch. And I think I ended up with 4 pumpkins. Now this is what I got. And this is, of course, an edible pumpkin with a smooth skin, and will make a yummy pumpkin pie. And I got a little one too. So we're having fun. Those of you who have water lilies, tropicals or hardies, it's time to get them ready for the winter time. Tropicals, oftentimes they need to come indoors where it's nice and warm and they will live. You could also keep tropical lilies alive with a heated pot, and it's a water lily pot that actually has a heater in it. So that's something that you might want to consider. Send me an email if you're interested in getting one. Also, if it's time for you to divide your lilies up, they're kind of busting out of their pots, why go out and buy lily baskets when you can make your own? And here I made one out of a butter dish, and I made the little slits with an X-Acto knife. And remember the slits on the bottom, and this should do just fine. The water flows right through, and it'll do great. Now your lilies will need to be cut down during the winter, and of course they'll come back again in the springtime. I get a lot of questions about how to winter over water hyacinth. And some people who know how to grow water hyacinth say, why bother? They're cheap and you can replace them every year. I always try to make things live, and oftentimes am successful, sometimes am not. But a good way to kill water hyacinths is to let them freeze, and the slightest bit of frost will kill them off. If you don't want to go that route, you can put these little guys under your eaves by your house and cover them with plastic during the winter, or put them in your greenhouse or a sunny window inside of your house, like in an aquarium. And that should do just fine. Also, water lettuce, another floating plant, that has trouble wintering over as well, and you'll need some extra protection for them. And these are, by the way, are fantastic beginning water garden plants, and they're a lot of fun. They grow very easily and they grow really fast. Something that's very important for your water garden is Anacharis. And I also have Anacharis that I can send to you. Now, Anacharis is important. It also oxygenates and clarifies, but it does a little bit better job than the water hyacinth and the water lily. When you put it in the water, you could actually see the dust particles and dirt gravitate towards the plant as it filters it through. It's really amazing. It will keep your pond clean and clear, and you won't have that green gooky pond look. It'll actually look like the way it should be, nice and clean and clear. I don't use any pumps or filters or anything like that. I just use plants as a natural filtration system, and it works really good. What do you think? You want to go in my pond? Well, hello to Cecile. She is my gourd friend here in my town of Visalia, California. And Cecile, I'm going to be at your house next Saturday for your gourd class to learn how to grow gourds. Well, this is Gail Gates. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop me off an email. It's gail@pondplantgirl.com. Follow me on Twitter. And you keep on being you, and have a great day. Happy gardening and happy ponding. I'll see you next time. And you think it's coffee.